Well guys, hope you had a safe and kick-ass New Year's, and for those who got straight up trashed, I wish you all a very speedy recovery, because New Year's hangovers, man, no, they are not fun to deal with. But what is fun is looking at what's coming ahead in this brand new year. 2016 has a lot of promising movies that we are all looking forward to, and I will be covering them briefly. I'm not going to go into huge depth about these movies, but just enough to where you guys are aware of what's coming ahead in 2016. And if I somehow missed the indie movie that everybody is raving about, I apologize in advance, so please feel free to leave any movie that you're excited for in the comment section below. So without further ado, let's talk about some 2016 movies that I'm really pumped for, starting off with January. Coming in the first week of January is The Revenant, Leonardo DiCaprio's next attempt for that Oscar win, and I know some of you have already seen this movie in 2015, but I'm still waiting for my local theater to get that wide release because for some reason they just like to have mainstream stuff only. It makes my balls itch. But I'm really looking forward to see if Leo DiCap is capable for that Oscar win. The man deserves it for so many times, and hopefully this is the one. Next up, near the end of January, we got Kung Fu Panda 3, probably one of DreamWorks' most successful franchises that actually works, no pun intended. We got all the original cast back together, we got newcomers like Mads Mikkelsen as the main villain, so it looks very promising so far. The franchise is going 2 for 2 now, let's make that 3 for 3. Now we are into the February movies, and kicking it off for me is the new Coen Brothers film, Hail Caesar. And it looks like the Coen Brothers are going back to their comedy roots in this one. It looks like every actor has that comedic side that we have never seen before. And it looks like a very well-written film that's a huge homage to old-fashioned Hollywood, something that we haven't seen in a long time, so I'm really looking forward to that. And we have the superhero movie that looks so different out of all of them, and that is Deadpool. Ever since they announced the movie and they said it was gonna be rated R, I was like, that's perfect, because you can't have PG-13 Deadpool. It's impossible. It looks something very refreshing for the superhero genre that we definitely need, and Ryan Reynolds, I hope you kill it as Deadpool. Next up, we have a little horror movie called The Witch. Now, I've been seeing the same trailer to this movie about a couple times in my theater lately, and apparently it's getting a ton of early critiques saying that's one of the scariest and most disturbing horror movies that we have gotten in a while. They say that a lot about horror movies these days. I know nothing about it, and I'd rather not know anything about it, and hopefully this is the movie that brings horror movies back up to where they need to be. Now we are in the March movies, starting off with Disney Animation Studios' next movie, Zootopia. It kind of looks like their take on Monsters Inc., where they take a world on how humans operate, but instead of it being monsters, it's full of animals. But it looks like it's gonna be their most funniest movie yet. The whole sloth bit in one of the trailers always makes me laugh, and I'm really looking forward to see how it's gonna make me laugh in the final project. Next up, we easily have one of the most anticipated superhero movies of all time, and that is Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Batman and Superman together for the first time on the big screen, and the movie forming the beginning of the Justice League. How can you say no to that? Even though the last trailer took a little bit of interest away from me, it doesn't change the fact that I am still excited for DC expanding their cinematic universe. And now we are into the April movie month, and it's okay, it's an okay movie month, where it's like the pre-season for the summer movie season. And in mid-April, we have Jon Favreau's attempt on bringing this Disney animation to life, and that is The Jungle Book. The visuals to this movie looks incredible. I think it was done by Weta, like the same guys who did Avatar and the Lord of the Rings movies. However, it looks really entertaining and a great imagining to this classic story. And next, we have Ratchet and Clank. Now, I remember playing the games on PlayStation 2 when I was younger, and I remember them being wacky and fun games, and it feels like this movie will capture the humor and the adventure side of these characters of Ratchet and Clank, while at the same time it's putting in tons of faith for me in it being a really good video game movie. If that made any sense, but that is a genre that really needs help in. Now we are coming to the halfway point of the summer movies, and kicking off Marvel's Phase 3 is Captain America: Civil War. This is, to my knowledge, the last Captain America solo movie, and it looks like it's gonna be up to par with the Winter Soldier. You got all these heroes going up for a showdown while Captain America is slowly beginning to distrust the government more and more. And Spider-Man and Black Panther are gonna be in the movie. I mean, there's so many things to discuss on Civil War, and just hopefully it'll be Marvel's best yet. And next, what I think is a very underrated comedy that came out in 2014, we get a sequel, and that is Neighbors 2: Sorority Rising. Seth Rogen and Zac Efron are back in this one, and I think they have to take out a sorority that moves next door to them. I mean, look, I just want college parties, hot chicks, Seth Rogen and Zac Efron giving us another great comedy that hopefully it'll be a lot of fun. Obviously, but not the official poster. And then we have Angry Birds, which is the first ever animation to be adapted from a mobile game. And somebody said, I think it was Josh Gad, he said that this movie had the same heart that the Lego movie did, so we'll see on that. And then we get the new X-Men movie directed by the legendary Bryan Singer, and that is X-Men Apocalypse. Apocalypse. I think it's really cool how we're seeing the most famous mutants as teenagers and they're going up against the biggest, baddest mutant ever, Apocalypse. Really looking forward to that showdown. Hopefully some Wolverine, maybe, whatever. And lastly, we have Alice Through the Looking Glass. Now the first Alice in Wonderland done by Tim Burton, it wasn't all that great really, but you can't deny that it's trippy as shit, and that's what I'm expecting in this new Alice in Wonderland movie, some straight up acid trips. School is out, and now we're into the June movies, starting off with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. Now, just like Alice in Wonderland, the first one wasn't all that great, but I'm still really looking forward to seeing what the Turtles are gonna get into next. And then we got Warcraft, which was originally supposed to come out last Christmas, but by the power of Star Wars The Force Awakens, it got pushed back, so BlizzCon. I'm just kidding, guys. You know I really love you. Now, I never really was a huge Warcraft fan, but it looks like it's gonna be a movie about two former enemies teaming up to fight the greater evil, and it's directed by Duncan Jones, the director of Moon and Source Code. All really good movies. And knowing that he personally loves the Warcraft universe makes me feel more comfortable that he's gonna put more love into this project. And next, we have Disney Pixar's Finding Dory, and after The Good Dinosaur, Pixar really needs this one. Then we have Independence Day Resurgence, the sequel to the 90s classic Independence Day that my inner nerd cannot wait for. And I remember talking to my buddies a while back and I was like, you know what's a sequel that we really need? An Independence Day sequel. And it looks like it's gonna be it, guys. Summer's still going strong, and kicking off July is The Legend of Tarzan. Alexander Skarsgård got incredibly ripped for the role, and Margot Robbie, she still looks incredibly hot. And I'm really looking forward to the new take on the Tarzan and Jane story. Then we have The Big Friendly Giant, Steven Spielberg's next blockbuster, which we haven't seen from him in a long time, actually. The kid-friendly adventure where the kids are really smart, but the parents are really stupid. Yeah, those types of movies. Spielberg is always great to me and to all of us, so how can you say no to him? Then we have the all-female cast in this reboot of Ghostbusters. I'm really hoping they're gonna put the original theme song in there. Apparently a whole Ghostbusters cinematic universe is gonna start from this movie, so hopefully from there, it's gonna be good. Then we got Star Trek Beyond, and after the departure of J.J. Abrams, it looks like this franchise is gonna be in big trouble. Let's just hope and pray that this franchise doesn't take a dive after this one. Lastly, we got the next Bourne movie with Matt Damon returning to the character of Jason Bourne. We haven't seen Matt Damon as Jason Bourne since the Bourne Ultimatum, so hopefully this year, he's gonna be Tom Cruise. Now, August, I am really looking forward to this next comic book movie that looks really different from all the others, and that is Suicide Squad. You got this all-star cast portraying these insanely popular DC characters such as Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn and Jared Leto as the Joker, and it's a movie done in these anti-heroes' point of view, which was never done in a DC movie before. And no, Catwoman does not count. Now, September, I'm not really looking forward to much, except for that Magnificent Seven reboot with Denzel Washington and Chris Pratt. Will it be good? I don't know, but hopefully it will be one of the better remakes to a very beloved Western classic. October, again, not too much is coming out that month, but apparently that new Gambit movie starring Channing Tatum is supposed to be released. Now, I'm not entirely sure if this will link up with the new X-Men movies. I heard it's going to, but as a standalone Gambit movie, I'm really looking forward to seeing how they're going to expand the character of Gambit, since another movie really failed in doing so. We're not going to talk about that movie, though. Now this is where the money hits, and this is where my hopes get back up, and kicking off November is Marvel's Doctor Strange. The photos of Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange and the concept art to the movie was released not too far back, and it looks really fucking cool. Now I'm wondering how it's gonna link up with the Avengers, considering he is gonna be one in the future movies, but it looks very different from most Marvel movies. And I'm calling it right now, this will be Marvel's visual masterpiece. I am calling that shit right now. Then we have the return to the Wizarding World, and that is Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. The trailer doesn't give too much away, but come on, the world of Harry Potter and Eddie Redmayne, it looks like it's gonna be a very fun adventure, hopefully. Then we have Disney's Moana, the same guys who brought us The Little Mermaid and Aladdin and The Princess and the Frog. Disney has now given us a Pacific Islander princess, but come on Disney, where's the Mexican princess? Where is she? Whatever. Not a big deal to me, I'm just saying. Now it's the end of the year, and kicking off mid-December, it for me is my most anticipated movie of 2016, and that is Star Wars Rogue One. And from what I heard, it's gonna take place between episode 3 and 4. The Empire is rising to power, and Darth Vader's being Darth Vader. It has Felicity Jones and Mads Mikkelsen. It looks very promising, and I'm really looking forward to this new Star Wars story. Next, we have Passengers, a movie starring Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt, a cast that we have been asking for a very long time. Not too much release on the film besides the cast and it being a science fiction movie, so hopefully it'll be good. Next, we have Assassin's Creed starring Michael Fassbender, based off the video games of Assassin's Creed, and for me, I've only played the first 2 Assassin's games. They're very fun, dirty, gritty, open world games, in which I hope that this movie captures because it has the potential on being one of the greatest video game movies ever made. Well guys, that's my list of my most anticipated movies of 2016 that I can think of, and it's mostly comic book movies and blockbusters, but that's alright. If I somehow missed the indie film that everybody knows about, please feel free to leave it in the comment section below so you can open my eyes in the world of cinema. But most importantly, I want to know what your guys' most anticipated list of 2016. What are they? Whatever they are, leave it down below. And as always, you can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and all that social media shit down below. Keep in contact with me. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And as always, may the force be with you.